Good morning and welcome. We're thrilled to have you with us at the Shawnee Mission School District Center for Academic Achievement for the grand finale of the Next Great Idea Pitch Competition. Get ready for an inspiring morning, one that's filled with innovation, creativity, and the bold ideas of our incredible students. We're so glad you've joined us for today's experience. The Next Great Idea Pitch Competition is a signature event of our Research and Development Forum, our long-standing tradition that's in its 63rd year. And it's made possible by the generous and ongoing support of the Rainier family. We're so pleased to have Mr. Bob Rainier with us today, who is representing the family. Also with us today is Superintendent Dr. Michael Schumacher, and I believe throughout the morning we'll also have members of our Board of Education with us. Thank you all for your leadership and support. A special thank you also goes out to our partners at Seed Folk Partners. Their commitment to nurturing student creativity and confidence throughout this process has been invaluable. We have Katie Kimbrell with us, and she and her colleague, Veronica Alvidrez, have helped to mentor and shepherd the students throughout the process, so we really appreciate your efforts. Thank you. Today is all about possibility. After weeks of hard work, dedication, and big thinking, Shawnee Mission students are ready to share their visions for the future. You'll be hearing from our top 8 finalists, each competing for amazing prizes and, more importantly, the chance to turn their ideas into big impact. Before we begin, let's take a moment to celebrate the legacy of this competition. We'll kick things off by hearing from some of our past winners who will share what this experience and the investment in their ideas has meant to them. Let's take a look.
My name is Audrey, and my pitch for the Next Great Idea was the Dot Spot. The Dot Spot is 8 period pantries within Shawnee Mission West, and they are stored in lockers, and it is meant to provide free period products for anyone who needs it.
My name is Miles, and my pitch was flight suit systems. One day I was in math class and we were just doing your basic math sort of just lessons, and I was like, I wish there was a fun way that I could do this while still getting and learning the information, and I came up with this idea, flight suit systems, and it's interactive lessons for students. So each of the lessons would be a completely different game and idea that all tie together in order to create an enriching learning experience.
I won a $1,500 grant to help fund and start the Dot Spot. Period products are very expensive, so it was wonderful to be able to have some sort of funding for that, so I'm able to provide as many products as needed. I'm planning to expand the Dot Spot outside of Shawnee Mission West, and I'm hoping to put it onto a street corner. I'm really glad I got this far, and I'm really glad that I'm making good progress and I'm able to help people.
So right now we're in the process of finding servers that we can purchase and building a web platform. We're also working on a desktop application that students can install to use in order to access the games. I'm learning so much just by being able to talk with these people who are in the industry and just learning about all of this stuff that goes into doing it.
I would tell a student that is looking to start up a project to definitely apply to the Next Great Idea, because it gives you a step up. It is your way to actually start a project.
This is an opportunity that you should take, especially because not every district does this, and our district is amazing. They give you the resources in order to develop that into something that's real, can be used by everyday people, and helps the world.
We are so proud of these students, and this truly is an example of the real-world learning experiences that we strive to thread through our classrooms each day. All right, our 8 finalists are ready to pitch their big ideas, so sit back, enjoy the show, and prepare to be inspired. And don't forget, you'll have a voice in today's competition as well by helping us select the People's Choice Award. Listen closely, you won't want to miss a thing, and we'll have more information for you on how you can vote in a little bit. So let's take a look at what some of the awards are that the students are competing for today. First, we have the Idea of Promise Award. It's a $500 award for a concept that shows possibility. We also have the People's Choice Award, and that's the $500 award that you will help us to choose. There will be a 1-hour window of voting after the final pitch that will be open from roughly 11:30 to 12:30 today. We'll be sharing a link on the screen so that you'll know how you can vote. And then we will recognize our top 3 innovators with an award of up to $2,500 for each participant to put toward their education and also toward furthering their idea. We've invited some very special guest judges to help us determine today's winners. These accomplished individuals are innovators and entrepreneurs, and we're so pleased to have them sharing their time and their talents with us today. Let's meet them. We're pleased to welcome back Melanie Haas as a judge this year. Melanie she is a tech leader and a member of the Kansas State Board of Education representing District 2. Melanie is passionate about the responsible incorporation of technology in education, helping students become informed digital citizens while preparing them for 21st century career success. She believes every student deserves to have their educational needs met with a world-class education. Help me thank Melanie for returning this year to help us judge our latest innovations in Shawnee Mission. Next, we have Triumphia Humbie-Folks. She's an experienced engineer with a demonstrated history of working in the information technology and services industry. Triumphia is the founder and CEO of Code Algo Academy, a fun gaming platform that teaches kindergarten through 8th grade students how to code. And we have Adam Larson. He's program coordinator for the Rainier Institute for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, where along with his team, they lead the design and management of entrepreneurship programs for UMKC students and Kansas City's entrepreneurship community. Thank you, Adam. The format today is that each student innovator will have about 3 minutes to pitch their idea, and then we will have about a 2 to 3 minute question and answer follow-up with the judges. After that, we'll leave some time for the judges to record their notes and their scores and prepare for the next pitch. Judges, are you ready? Audience, are you ready? Woo! Okay. Let's get started. Our first innovator is Fina Kessler. She is a junior from Shawnee Mission East High School, and today she's presenting her next great idea, Hoops for Her. Welcome, Fina.
Sports have the power to build confidence, leadership, and opportunity, but not every girl gets a chance to play. I'm on a mission to change that. Hi, my name is Fina Kessler, and I'm a junior at Shawnee Mission East, and my next great idea is Hoops for Her. Hoops for Her is a nonprofit organization that strives to empower girls all around the world through basketball. I've been playing basketball for most of my life and have benefited immensely from the opportunities and knowledge it's provided me. Through sports, I have been able to grow my resilience, leadership skills, and determination, helping me grow into the person I am today. I feel as though all girls should have the opportunity to feel empowered through their sport and be encouraged to do so. Unfortunately, this is not the case. I witnessed this firsthand 2 summers ago when I traveled to Kenya and brought soccer balls for a village school. We got to play with the kids, but only the boys got to play. Seeing the girls just watch from the sidelines really stuck with me and opened my eyes to how privileged I have been to have had access to sports my whole life. It wasn't until a year later when all of this came together. Last summer, I had the opportunity to attend a social entrepreneurship camp through the Pangea Network, where I was encouraged to start a Take Action Challenge. This is when Hoops for Her was born. Since this camp, I have been determined to make this dream a reality. I reached out to many knowledgeable people, creating a board of directors, gained 501c3 status, then built our website, our Instagram page, and began fundraising for our first event. This summer, we'll be going to Kenya to host an all-girls basketball and empowerment camp for around 50 middle school and high school girls in the neighboring communities of Moore University, where the camp will be held and coached by members of their women's basketball team. There will also be incorporated sessions on healthy communication, reproductive health, and goal setting, taught by members of the Pangea Network, which is an organization that empowers women and youth in Kenya through education and entrepreneurship training. To make this camp possible, I have to raise around $10,000, and with the help of my community, I have been able to raise $7,000 already. Funds will cover expenses like transportation for campers to and from Moore University, coaches' time, gym space, lunches, water bottles, female hygiene kits, and t-shirts. If selected, I will use the prize money to ensure that each girl attending is able to leave with her own basketball. With 50 girls attending at $30 per ball, that equals exactly $1,500. This will allow each girl to continue practicing the skills she learned while serving as a lasting reminder of the lessons and dreams sparked at this camp. With your support, you're not only helping fund a camp, you're investing in the lives of 50 incredible girls. Studies show that girls who participate in sports are more likely to avoid early marriage, teen pregnancy, and domestic violence. I also hope that by being mentored by female college athletes will inspire them to chase their own dreams while challenging gender stereotypes in Kenya. While we are starting in Kenya, I hope to grow and expand Hoops for Her to spread the love of the sport and the benefits it brings to young women. Thank you.
Great work, Fina. We'll start your time with the judges.
All right, thank you.
Well done, Fina. I was curious about your $10,000 goal. Tell us about some of the research you did to estimate those costs and figure out what your fundraising goal is.
Yeah, so like I said before, we have a board of directors and we meet monthly, and so some of our members helped us put together a budget, and we also, some of our partners are in Kenya, and we partnered with the Moore University women's basketball team, so they help us estimate the cost of using the gym, the cost of having them work with us and coach, and then also the PNG network, how much it cost for them to help teach the girls at the camp, and then obviously like basketballs. I play basketball, so I know the price of around basketballs, and then female hygiene kits. And so we put together a budget that helped us get the estimate of around $10,000.
I'm curious, as you move forward with this, what areas do you hope to reach? So what does stage 2 look like for you?
Well, I hope to obviously continue doing this camp in Kenya to kind of build relationships with the girls there, and then furthermore after that expand it to other places. But my next step after this camp would be trying to install basketball courts at the schools in Kenya where the girls are attending this camp, like their schools, so then they're able to continue practicing there and just kind of building basketball as a sport there in Kenya.
Thank you.
Have you thought about creating those camps here in the U.S. as well?
I have thought about that, and I hope to do that in the future as well, and going to more underprivileged areas to do it there, because it's definitely needed here just as much as Kenya. I just feel like since I have been to Kenya and have a personal relationship with that as well, I obviously would want to start there and start big and reach people as I can, and then definitely start local as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, another round of applause for Fina. Fina, you set the bar high. Thanks for kicking off the competition. We're going to give the judges a chance to make some notes and tabulate their scores, and we will be back at 9:30 with our next pitch. In between, we'll be highlighting some of the students who applied to pitch but maybe aren't pitching live today, as well as we're going to showcase our student storefront, which had a pop-up here during the Research and Development Forum. So sit back, stay tuned. We'll be back at 9:30. Thank you.
One year, for Christmas, my parents got me a 3D printer. This helped me get into computer-aided design, CAD, and became one of my favorite hobbies. Since I've noticed one problem, filament. It's currently really wasteful, and I waited until someone else would fix this issue. But no one did, so I came up with my own cost-effective solution, refill. Have you ever had to deal with these? This is the waste made when you're 3D printing. And when you 3D print things, the waste can build up, and this is just a small amount of the waste that I have over a few years. This, 2 projects, that's 3 days. I end up throwing it all out, and that's really wasteful. So Refill has a barrel extrusion system which compresses all the plastic down. It has a crushing mechanism, and it has a spooling mechanism. It's different from all of the other designs on the market because it's way more cost effective, and it can pay off in under a week for schools, and for just someone like me with a hobby, it can pay off in about a month.
This is my model here, and you can see that there is the extruding system down here, the spooler, and then the crushing system and the barrel extruding system. And with my project, I really wanted to do this because I spent like $80 the other day on 3D printing filament, and I needed to fix it. So I made Refill. And this solution not only solves many of the other things for recycling issues, but also everything else in the market is extremely expensive, and the average person couldn't afford it for just hobby reasons or just for fun. And so with my design, I am expecting to charge around $200 and somewhere around that area. And hopefully with this product, I can make it better and more supportable for the economy, for 3D printing, and also to expand the abilities of the world of 3D printing, because every time you fill, you can just melt it down and reuse it with more products. And so that's why Refill will probably be the most efficient and cost-effective way to reuse 3D printed film.
Welcome back. During the break, in talking with our judges and audience members here with us live today, the consensus is outstanding. So next up, we have Ananya Raja. She's a 6th grade student at Prairie, and her bold idea is I Care.
Good morning, everybody. My project is I Care. So this started when I got this idea when I went to the ophthalmologist, and they said that I might need glasses. And when they said that, I got scared. So I kept on asking a lot of questions to them, and gladly they answered each and every single one. I have a question to all of you to start with. Have you ever been on your devices for so long that your eyes felt like it's on fire? That's me. If that's any of you, you need this Chrome extension. As you can see, some of these makeup products I even like to use, but sadly, I'm not going to talk about those today. Over 4 billion people in the world wear glasses and contacts. Just think of it. If one person buys around $500 for a pair, 4 billion people, that's $2 trillion. That's a lot of money. This is my problem statement. The problem is, before COVID, everything was on like paper and pencil, which was pretty good. But now everything's on electronics, and our eyes hurt. Lots of people spend long hours on their devices without even like blinking or even looking outside, mainly doing video games, watching TV, which is pretty bad. Some of the eye problems in medical terms are myopia, hyperopia, and astigmatism. That's why I created I Care. I Care is a Chrome extension that reminds the user to take care of their eyes. It will blur the screen, give an eye pop-up, tone down the background, give audio reminding so they're listening except looking with their eyes. It'll give water and food notifications and training videos so they know how to get it started with. So this is my Chrome extension page. This page is where you can configure it and put whatever settings you love. I love all of these alerts, but one of my favorites is the doom scrolling. Doom scrollers at first just want to see some social media site for like 5 to 10 minutes, but at the end they're going for hours and hours, which is really bad. So these are some of the screenshots that I wanted to look like the blurring the screen in the background and the eye pop-ups. This is like the configuration and the 20/20 rule. These are the exercise pages that I wanted to show, and I want this to be in my Chrome extension. So my ask is to create a Chrome extension, get help and learn JavaScript, reach out to volunteers, and get guidance from the ophthalmologist. And my next step is to put this to all major browsers and make an app that goes for the whole body. This is my budget planning. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Well done. Are you ready for some questions from the judges?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well done. I'm curious to learn what kind of customer research have you done? Who have you talked to about why this might be a really valuable solution for your market?
So I've talked to the ophthalmologist. With the discussion I did with the ophthalmologist is what I'm presenting now. Not only is it going to help with me, but also 4 billion people.
Have you talked to actual users? For example, I wear glasses and I wear contacts, and I would be a great person because I'm also a software developer, so I'm always on my computer, and I'm also a video gamer. So have you talked to other people that may have this type of problems aside from your ophthalmologist?
I've talked to my parents. My dad usually goes in his his work and all sorts of stuff, and he also wears glasses now. So I talked to him, my sister. So I talked to my family base now, and I wanted to put this to my school and to everybody around the world.
Thank you.
I'm curious, based on your research, is it you draw a correlation between the time spent on screens and then the need for glasses. Did you do some research to validate that so that you can say we know for certain this is a cause and effect situation?
Well, I saw that lots of people do lots of stuff on screens, like you said. They see lots of I use Canvas and I Excel a lot, which is I like it, but it hurts my eyes a lot. Even my friends say that, and I feel like this will help a lot.
And I want to ask a quick follow-up because you had to get a lot of information in there really quickly.
Yeah.
The 20-20-20 rule, can you remind us what that is?
Yeah, so the 20-20-20 rule is for every 20 minutes, you look outside 20 feet away for 20 seconds, and it reduces the eye strain. Because lots of people have the power in their eyes, so it reduces it.
Thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, another great pitch. We'll give the judges some time to tabulate their scores, and we will be back at 9:45 with our next pitch.
Do you have a young person in your life who can't keep track of their assignments? Whenever they sit down to do homework, are they always getting distracted? That's happened to me so many times, which is why I'm creating a Chrome browser extension called Chloe. Chloe is a planner, focus aid, and wellness tracker for kids. It has ordinary planner features, plus things that a kid needs, like an assignment and homework tracker and a study buddy that motivates you and gives you an overview of your calendar events. I came up with the idea for Chloe when I was studying for a test and kept getting distracted. I had a planner and I had a distraction blocker and focus aid on my computer, but when I used both of them at the same time, they would both crash. That's when I decided that I should make my own. After I brainstormed ideas for Chloe, I made and sent out a survey for 100 sixth graders, which asked them to rate the features I came up with and offer new suggestions for features. Then, I came up with the features on the screen. You can choose the features that you want and not use the ones that you don't want. A way that a kid would effectively use Chloe is by first putting their activities, events, extracurriculars, and important assignments on the calendar. They can also prioritize and color code the calendar. When they start studying or doing their homework, they can turn on features off of focus aid, like blocking distracting websites and focus noise. After they finish a task, they can check it off of their to-do list. If they don't finish something on their to-do list, they'll get a notification on their device to finish it. Of course, all of these features are optional. For younger kids, parents will have to help set it up and only turn on the features that their kid needs. But other than that, the platform is user-friendly enough for most kids to use. Unlike the planner SMSD uses, the My Homework Planner, Chloe is different because it includes a focus aid. The My Homework Planner is also geared towards middle and high school students, but Chloe is for kids from 3rd grade to 12th grade. There's also no planner and focus aids for kids on the Chrome Web Store. Chloe would fill this gap. For the budget, I'm going to use Upwork to hire a web designer. I have estimated that making Chloe will take approximately 8 hours, and using the range of prices from Upwork, it will cost at most $1,495. Chrome has a publishing fee which costs $5. That comes out to a total of exactly $1,500. Finally, some next steps I could take are to make Chloe's to-do list integrated with Canvas, add color themes, and create an assignment leaderboard to motivate kids to finish their assignments. Thank you so much for listening, and here's a prototype of Chloe's to-do list.
Welcome back. I hope all of you at home have been jotting down some notes. Our third innovator is Julian Dukes. He's a junior at Shawnee Mission East High School, and he's bringing us his next great idea, the Home Hopper.
Hello, my name is Julian Dukes, and this is my great idea. In the United States, nearly 50% of families are divorced. This results in separate housing in which the children of these families have to deal with. As someone with divorced parents myself, I can relate to the struggle that separate housing brings. Having to lug around multiple heavy bags just so I can have all of my needed belongings is tiring and inconvenience. This is where my idea comes in, the Home Hopper. The Home Hopper is a travel bag designed to make moving between homes easier and more accommodating for children, teens, and young adults. It features divided zones for easy organization that can store essentials needed between both homes. While staying light and compact, it is an all-in-one bag for kids and teens with divorced parents. This is the prototype I've made. I went to a local seamstress, bought the materials, and she was able to make it for me. The Home Hopper will come in 2 versions, one for kids and one for teens or young adults, with each of them having their own respective design and functionality. The first design is called the Home Hopper Junior. The Home Hopper Junior is a bag designed to make moving between homes easier and more comforting for children. It features a toiletry zone with inserts for combs and hairbrushes, as well as a pouch for toothbrushes and toothpaste. A clothing zone for everyday apparel, an electronics zone with a built-in area for laptops, iPads, and iPhones. Lastly, a comfort zone for bedtime books, stuffed animals, a pouch for snacks, and a pouch for snacks. Second, the Home Hopper Pro. The Home Hopper Pro is a bag designed for teens and young adults navigating life between 2 homes. This is the budget. First, for the prototype development, I went to a local seamstress and had her make it. I bought the materials, and she made it for me. For the graphic design portion, I didn't have to pay anything because my mom is a graphic designer, which resulted in no cost. For social media marketing, it costs an upfront fee. For including multiple different platforms, it will cost around $200. For the product photos, I plan on making them myself, resulting in 0 cost. And for the website domain, I plan on buying a year-long plan for a website domain so I can make the Home Hopper brand officially mine. This here is what it would cost to make 10 Home Hopper Pros and 10 Home Hopper Juniors. And then any added expenses, including shipping, packaging, etc. My goal is to empower kids, teens, and young adults from separated families with thoughtfully designed bags that bring a sense of comfort, organization, and a sense of home wherever they might be. I truly do believe the Home Hopper has the potential to positively impact millions of lives. Thank you.
Nice job, Julian.
Thank you.
It takes a lot of courage and a lot of grit and guts to get up here as a student and pitch in front of a live audience and a lot of cameras. So well done. Are you ready for some questions from the judges?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
I agree, Leanne. Thank you, Julian. I'm curious. So is this bag your prototype? Is
Yes.
it brand new, newly made? Can you tell me a little about how it was
I made
constructed?
So we recently, about 2 days ago, or no, like 5 days ago, we brought it into a local seamstress. We went out, bought the materials, and we gave them to her. And then in about 3 days, she was able to make it. And we just put some stuff in that what maybe like a kid would have in it. That's the prototype for it.
What's the difference between the Home Hopper Junior and the Home Hopper Pro?
The Home Hopper Junior is meant for kids, and the Home Hopper Pro is meant for teens or young adults. Each of them have their own respective design and functionality. For example, in the Home Hopper Junior, there's this area for a comfort zone, which can hold bedtime books, stuffed animals, and an area for coloring materials, and a pouch for snacks, while the Home Hopper Pro will have an area, personal essential zone, to hold keys, IDs, and wallets.
On your financial slide, it was a little small. It was tough to read. So can you walk us through exactly how much does it cost to make you one of these? What are you selling it for, and what are your margins looking like?
So it costs around like $30 to make one of these. Well, like $25 to make the Home Hopper Junior and like $30 to make the Home Hopper Pro. Because I plan on making the Home Hopper Junior a third less than the Home Hopper Pro for kids because they can't carry as much. And I would market it for the Junior for around $50 and the Home Hopper Pro for $55 to $60. Yeah.
You mentioned graphic design. Where and what are you using your graphic design?
So see if I can find an example. Here, my mom she's a graphic designer. She used whatever program she uses, that's her job, and she was able to create a logo for me, which results in zero cost, so I won't have to pay for that.
Did you talk to friends or others who are experiencing this situation, and what kind of feedback did you get from your potential market?
Yes, they all agreed and thought this was a great idea, and they would genuinely use the product. I too have divorced parents, and this is a product that I need and I would definitely buy.
I have a last question for you. Are there any other products like this on the market today?
No, I did look. Of course, there are any type of bags that you could buy that would potentially work, but they would not be nearly as organized. They'd be heavy, and you probably have to lug around multiple of them.
All right, another round of applause for Julian.
Thank you.
All right, we'll let the judges do their work, and enjoy at home. We'll be showcasing some of our other students that entered the pitch competition, and we will be back at 10 o'clock. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nora Armel, and have you ever wondered why a human's best friend never listens to you? I had that problem a few months ago when my dog Hattie jumped up on the counter while I wasn't looking, spilled pasta sauce all over her body and our floor. We spent hours cleaning up after her. That's why I want to create a new invention called SCOUT. It stands for Safe, Collar, Obedience, Universal Train. It's an AI-based dog collar. How it works is, say, when a dog tries to get food off the counter, or when you're taking it on a walk and it wants to chase a squirrel, you can say a command or the dog's name, and the collar will beep. It is voice activated, so you can program it to recognize your voice. The effect would be the dog would learn how to do that. The SCOUT would be a beep collar because it is an effective learning tool. It is unique because it teaches positive behavior without physical abuse. 94% of the Americans train their dog at home, which means this product would benefit almost the entire U.S. I've included in my budget $1,000 for coding, prototype manufacturing $400, and $100 for materials. Since positive reinforcement and consistency are key aspects of dog obedience training, the SCOUT collar would revolutionize the way people train their dogs since it provides a constant beefing cue. This is why SCOUT should be the next great idea.
Have you ever woken up late at night only to discover you woke up because you're freezing and your sheets are barely covering you? If so, then you need a pocket sheet. The pocket sheet makes it so that you can't pull off your sheets while you're asleep. The pocket sheet, as the name implies, has a pocket that goes onto the edge of the bed. It also has this elastic around the edge of the pocket that keeps that grips the mattress. The combination of the grip of the elastic and the friction between the pocket and the mattress and the pocket and the bed frame keeps it so it's extremely hard to pull off. The pocket sheet could be adjusted to fit the dimensions of any kind of mattress, like a full queen or king, though my model here and the diagram that is also on my form are modeled as twin mattresses. The best material to make the pocket sheet out of would be cotton because it's a common material for sheets to be made out of and is sustainable. The pocket sheet can also keep a bed less messy because it'll always be tucked in the way the person wants it and won't shift around. The current price I've calculated to make a pocket sheet is $66, though it would go down a substantial amount if I was able to mass produce the sheets. If I won the money, it would go into advertising the pocket sheet, making a website, making my first models of the sheet, full-size models of the sheet, and getting further funding from other investors to grow my invention. The pocket sheet will be able to help anyone who is naturally cold or finds discomfort in being cold while sleeping. The pocket sheet would only be a little more expensive than a traditional sheet once I get it mass producing. There's currently nothing like the pocket sheet on the market, only things that make fitted sheets better at gripping the mattress. So this would be the only option for people to buy. There's also potential to grow this invention by making pocket comforters, which work in the same way just for comforters. I think this would also be good business because many of the people I talked to about my invention had kids and they didn't use sheets for them, just comforters. So they would prefer to buy a pocket comforter over a pocket sheet. My invention, the pocket sheet, has a lot of potential to improve the comfort of sleep for many people, and with nothing else like it on the market, it has much potential to be sold. Overall, I believe everybody deserves cozy toesies. Thank you for listening.
We're going to keep it rolling. Our next student pitch competitor is Sophie Sheehan. She's a 6th grade student at Corinth Elementary School, and her next great idea is Sophie's Steamboat.
Hi, my name's Sophie, and my next great idea is called Sophie's Steamboat. STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Math. STEAM experiences encourage young children to explore, experiment, and discover solutions to challenges. With the help of the Steamboat, young children can discover STEAM at a young age. It will enhance academic performance and critical thinking skills. Many areas lack museums, science centers, and libraries that provide hands-on STEAM experiences. Many people cannot afford STEAM even when it is accessible. In other words, this is the big problem that the Steamboat will be trying to solve. The Steamboat provides free supplies and equipment and focuses on locations that are accessible to everyone. Because it should be accessible, the Steamboat is an extra-large mailbox filled with STEAM-related products located across the community. Just imagine a free little library but filled with STEAM-related products. The Steamboat will start in 5 parks across the community and will have contents that contribute to STEAM. The Steamboat will also have a QR code on it which will navigate to a Facebook group. This Facebook group will help us track usage and will also allow for a further exchange of ideas. I first met with Kate Kincaid, Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of Shawnee. She challenged me to find a design that was sustainable for the indoors and outdoors. We discussed groups that could build or implement. I next met with Adam Benton. His hobby is woodworking. We discussed sustainable design, materials needed, repeatability, budget, marketing, and results tracking. This was my original idea. It was very intricate and was not sustainable to all the elements. Me and Em discussed this and realized an extra-large mailbox was the way to go. This is a decal that will be placed on one side of each mailbox. It is colorful and eye-catching to grab all kids' attention. This is my logo. It is placed on the other side of the mailbox in a clear representation of our mission. We will start with 5 parks, all located in places within a mile of a Title I school. A Title I school means many students are on free or reduced lunch. This is an example of what will be stocked in the steamboat. These items can be new or gently used. I met with a science teacher at my school who used to run the makerspace. We discussed low-cost ideas to include. For example, you can collect things around your house and donate those. It doesn't have to be new or brand new. Any person or group can adopt or sponsor a steamboat. It is requested that the sponsorship or adoption last 1 year, check the steamboat monthly to restock, and hold collection drives for people to donate new or gently used items or shop from Scraps KC. For example, we will send Girl Scouts and local Stuco emails and post flyers in local places with the QR code so people can learn more about adopting or sponsoring a steamboat. My budget has $600 for the 5 mailboxes, the mailbox posts, and the decals, and $900 for all the STEAM-related products. Thank you for listening. Now full steam ahead.
Excellent job. I'm excited to hear what questions the judges have. Let's see.
Is that $900 figure the amount that it costs to implement one of the mailboxes?
The $900 will be used for all the STEAM products that go inside the mailbox, and then $600 goes for the building of it and implementing it in different parks.
So if I were to sponsor one of these, what would the sponsorship take in total?
Well, number one, you would have to check it monthly probably, and you would also have to hold collection drives where people can donate new or gently used items, or you can also donate your own stuff to the steamboat.
So I want to make sure that I understand. Is the goal that if I'm a community member and I see one of these mailboxes, I could create a kit and go put it in the mailbox?
Yeah, if you can also scan the QR code and it'll lead to our Facebook page, and you can learn more about what you can donate and what would be good things for seasonal ideas. Seasonal ideas I will be posting on the website, like seeds for spring, where you can plant them and watch them grow.
So even if I would claim to know nothing about STEAM, I could still go and just review a list, buy the things, put them in a bag, and
yeah, as long as it kind of follows the STEAM lines, like the science, technology, engineering, art, and math. For example, you could even put like magnetiles in there for the engineering part of STEAM.
Thank you.
Is there a cost associated to adopt a steamboat?
I think that on the website you can adopt or sponsor one, but I think some money, I don't think it'll take any money to sponsor or adopt one, but it will take some money to put some effort into it so you can fill it and stock it and check it every once in a while.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little more about some of what was a challenging problem that you had to solve while you were working on this project? Did you learn anything new?
Probably the hardest thing was making it sustainable so it could go outside, and because I met with Adam and we discussed sustainability, and we realized that the mailbox, it's outside all the time, so why not use that instead?
Thank you.
All right, another round of applause for Sophie. Great job. We will be back at 10:15, and at home you can learn from the screen a little bit more about how you will be able to participate in our People's Choice voting. Thank you.
My name is Lincoln Smith. I have this big idea of raising the religion. I am a second grader at Brickwood French. I wanted a hotel that had American Girls bedrooms. It was like their theme. So this is the main floor. There is a right over here. It's American Girl book room, so then you know where that is from. Over here, that is old American Girls. This is Pet's room. It's very interesting because you have a typewriter. For Annie's room, it's very interesting because you have the presidents on the wall. For Julie's room, it's very colorful. For Steady Baby's room, it's very, very cute and stuff. For Josephina, hers is like rainbow. This is Naya. Naya's room, well, she's from Hawaii, so it's very Hawaii. And for Felicity, hers is very, very cool because it's very interesting and it has a lot of old stuff. For Courtney, hers is like 80s. So it's like games and TV and colorful stuff. Now, because Samantha is the richest magazine girl, we wanted this one to have a penthouse. So it's the living room, the bedroom, and then the bathroom. Now, this is where you can eat and stuff. So if it's raining out, you can go in the indoor one. But if it's not raining, you can go in either. We researched 2 hotels and it's $3 million. For the Bradley, I want to do it at my reading for and my art class at the studio. Eventually, after college, I want to make my dream a house. Thank you.
We're going to keep the excitement going. Our next student up is Josiah Price. He is a senior at Shawnee Mission North High School. He is actually not with us here physically at the Center for Academic Achievement. He's actually going to pitch live remote because he is also competing in the International DECA competition. So welcome Josiah Price and his next great idea, Prosova.
Hello. Hope you guys are all doing well. First off, I just want to apologize since I can't be there in person. I was really excited. I really wanted to be there. But as you just heard, I'm in Florida right now for DECA National Conference. So I really thank you guys still for considering me and for taking the time to hear my pitch. So yes, this is Prosova, and it's the smartest way to save both food and money. So imagine this. You went grocery shopping. I know I'm sure it's something that we've all done before. You go to the store, pick out your favorite foods, you bring them home, and go about your day. It's great. However, sir, something I'm sure that we've also all done before is coming back just a few weeks later to see that those same foods have now gone bad and are expired. Now you have to throw the food away, so you're wasting the food, you're wasting the money, it's all bad. And if you ever face this problem, just know you're not alone. This is a problem that actually plagues our entire nation. It's the reason why the US alone wastes over 119 billion pounds of food every year. This food waste ends up in landfills, in oceans, and the environment, harmfully affecting our planet. On a financial level, this equates to around $400 billion being lost every year on food, with families losing on average $1,500 on food that they never get to enjoy. Why? The reason is that there's not an easy way to track and manage groceries. Families forget what foods they buy, when they expire, and what they can use them for. Grocery tracking is hard to do, inefficient, and honestly, it's a bit boring. That's why I designed and created Prezova, the smartest way to save both food and money. Instead of tedious manual entry, Prezova allows users to simply speak to input groceries into the app. Maybe you're picking out groceries from the store, you're putting them away at home. All you have to do is tap the add button in Prezova and speak into it. For example, bread April 12th, milk April 16th, or eggs April 20th. Prezova automatically records and stores all the expiration dates, and it sends you timely reminders before things expire. It even gives you tips on how to preserve and prolong the shelf life of the items which you purchase. Going one step further, Prezova even suggests meal ideas that are personalized, as they're based on ingredients that are readily available in your home. It even prioritizes meals which use items that are soon to expire. That way you can ensure that you are maximizing the amount of food and money that you're saving. Prezova also shows users the amount of money and food that they've saved throughout their time in the app, giving achievements and badges based on certain milestones that you've hit throughout your time in the app. This really provides a fun and engaging experience with Prezova, and even serves as a good habit building tool also. And last but not least is my favorite part of Prezova is Zoe. Zoe is like the mascot for Prezova, and she's sort of the middleman between the app and the user. She's the one that's going to be actually providing those notifications about expiration reminders or about meal suggestions. Instead of dry notifications sent to your phone, Prezova provides a fun and engaging personal user experience. For example, on the left, Zoe is dressed as a chef when providing meal suggestions. On the right, she's dressed as an analyst when showing you your goals throughout your time using Prezova. As you can see, I put a lot of time and effort and thought into how I want to develop Prezova. And this is why I believe Prezova is ready to launch right now. I already have 2 key target market groups. The first is college students and young professionals. These are people aged to 18 to 30, they're budget conscious and tech savvy and want to really maximize the amount of money that they're saving. And the second key target group is families and working adults. These are families who maybe have busy lives, but they value convenience and sustainability, and they want to use tech to make their lives more easy. The way that we'll reach both key target market groups is through social media marketing, focusing on micro-influencers who are focused on the health, wellness, and sustainability sectors of social media. This allows us to reach our target market authentically and find those who already care about the problems which we solve, that is saving food and saving money. As far as Prezova's competition goes, there are apps such as Yumly, Pantry Check, and Fridgely. However, they either lack many features or lack user engagement. For example, some of these apps, they don't track what foods you already have, and some have very bland and boring UIs. However, when it comes to Prezova, Prezova provides an easy way to input groceries. Unlike the other apps which do tedious manual entry, Prezova again allows you to simply speak while either picking out groceries or putting them away, and again, it still stores everything. It even provides those smart expiration reminders and meal suggestions. It even has a gamified experience with Zoe, and it has a clean, intuitive design, more engaging than its competitors. Then how will Prezova make money?
Josiah, you have exceeded your time, so I need to ask you to wrap it up, please.
Yes. As you can see, Prezova can be free to download app, but also there's a $3.99 per month premium upgrade which you can have. Yes. So as you can see, I've already reached a lot of milestones, even taking it to DECA Nationals. That's why I'm here. It's actually for Prezova. As you can see, I'm very committed, and I really want to bring Prezova to life. So if I were to use these funds from winning this competition, I do 33% into marketing, again, micro-influencers, around 66% into developing an MVP for Prezova. So this concludes my presentation. I really thank you guys so much for hearing me out and for hearing what I have to say about Prezova. And I'm happy to answer any questions that any of you have. And again, I really hope you'll join me in bringing Prezova to life. Again, it is the smartest way to save both food and money. Thank you so much.
All right, well done, Josiah. Judges, what questions do you have?
Have you conducted any market research in regards to this idea?
Yes. So I looked at, again, how much food waste goes on. As you see the numbers before, for example, 119 billion pounds of food that the US wastes. And I'm sure a lot of that links back to the fact that there's not an easy way to manage groceries. So I began to pay attention and ask around for my family and friends, like how often do you have food that you throw away? Food that you forgot about, and then you only realize it once it's maybe 2 weeks expired. And it happens so often. In my family and friends, even myself sometimes, and many, many times I find myself throwing away food and regretting it because it cost a lot. It was a food that I was excited to eat. So in regards, that's how I've done market research.
Thank you.
Josiah, how did you decide on using speech recognition technology versus something like, scanning the barcode or taking a picture of the product?
So why I wanted to do voice recognition is that sometimes for certain products, because I did look into barcodes actually, I thought barcodes was a great idea, and even some other apps they use barcodes. However, some barcodes they don't have the expiration date available. So there's apps, for example, like MyFitnessPal. So the barcode can tell you the nutrition information, like calories and protein, carbs. However, a lot of times it doesn't tell the expiration date. There's only certain products that have expiration dates, which you can find from the barcode. And so because we're not a, fitness like app, we're more focused on expiration dates, saving the food, not wasting food. That's why I decided to go with what I thought was most simple and just speaking one sentence per item, like April 12th, like eggs.
So Josiah, I want to follow up on that because I have to be honest. The last thing that I'm going to do when I'm putting groceries in the fridge is take the time to also tell the app what the expiration date is on my product. Does it still work if I don't put in an expiration date? Like, what is the benefit if a user is skipping some of the steps?
Yeah, so based on certain items that you have, like when we think about milk doesn't have an extremely long shelf life. There's maybe 2 weeks or less, which you can use milk sometimes. And so if no expiration date is provided, Brazil will automatically assign one based on what product it is. And also, it doesn't have to be when you're putting them away, because I realized too, even myself, I don't want to take more time. I just spent time at the grocery store. I don't want to take more time, maybe in some cases speaking into the phone. But while I'm at the grocery store and picking out items, I always look at the expiration date, especially for essential items like eggs, bread, milk. I always look at the date. And so while doing that, you can also use Prezova. So when you're already looking at the date at the store, you can already speak into it, and you don't have to take extra time at home to do so.
It sounds like you differentiate yourself from the market with your gamification aspect and also the voice recognition that you have. So have you looked into potential IP protection of your idea?
I haven't looked. Well, I've looked into a little bit of protection as far as nobody else has really done this so far the way that I want to do it. So I have that originality, and I believe I haven't looked into too much of actually protecting and securing my idea, but I've looked at it and I see that nobody else has done it yet. And so that is the next step, which I want to do.
Great job, Josiah.
Thank you guys so much.
I also want to give a huge shout out to our communications team here in the Shawnee Mission School District for making that not just an idea, but a reality to do our live remote pitch. So communications team, round of applause for them. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to take a short break, and then we will be back with our next pitch at 10:30.
Hi, I'm Galen Lane, and my great idea is the Study Buddy, which is a free-to-use website
to help kids study. I know from personal experience studying cannot always be the easiest and can almost appear daunting, but with very motivation or help from peers and family members, I was able to achieve a good studying habit. I know not everyone has this, and sitting down alone can be daunting. That's why I would like to bring the Study Buddy, a free-to-use website that could help people study more frequently, regularly, and be organized. The Study Buddy would have study buddies, which would be customizable animals that you would have a wide variety from. You could adjust the size, and as you're studying, they could have little helpful quotes from classic books or more recent quotes from your favorite athletes or celebrities. They could also have some AI-generated tips that could help you even further. They could also remind you to take breaks, stretch, get up, or take a drink of water, all daily things that sometimes we forget when we're in the zone. The financial aspects of the Study Buddy are interesting. I would be using links. After looking into price options, I decided that the Cool Wings plan would be the best for my website. It is $29 per month, and with the prize money, I would be able to run it for 4 years and 3 months without problem. The full plan has many options. The pros include 50 gigabytes of storage, free domain for a year, and AI-provided tools. I believe that this Study Buddy is so important and that everyone needs one. Almost everyone can relate to this idea because almost everyone needs to study. Even if you get good grades, you can always improve, just as I did. Studying for almost a couple of weeks can help you vastly improve. This Study Buddy will give students the tools to do that. And if you're wondering, well, not everyone has devices at home. I thought of that too. Sure, not everyone has devices at home, but they could also use it on some school-provided devices or public devices at libraries or other government-run buildings. I believe this Study Buddy could greatly improve all lives. Thank you so much for listening to my That's a Great Idea pitch. Thank you.
Welcome back. Next up, we have the dynamic duo of Sawyer Smith, a 6th grader, and Miles Beckman, a 4th grader, both from Prairie Elementary School, with their idea of the floating greenhouse.
Hi, I'm Sawyer. And I'm Miles. The problem we want to help solve is ocean acidification. We were originally inspired by our LEGO League innovation project on this topic. The ocean's pH levels have decreased 30% since the Industrial Revolution began and will keep decreasing.
This impacts sea life, especially ones with hard shells and skeletons, causing them to dissolve or not develop. For example, these amazing sea butterflies.
Whoa, butterflies can swim?
Not quite, but these beautiful winged sea snails do flap their wings to fly underwater.
It also affects coral reefs, shellfish, crustaceans, and plankton, which impacts food chains in the entire ecosystem. Our floating greenhouse can grow diverse varieties of seaweed year-round and planted on the ocean floor with a robotic apparatus. It is fully automated, equipped with solar panels, and communicates back to scientists through satellites. Seaweed releases oxygen and absorbs carbon dioxide, which helps raise the pH levels. Our greenhouse also releases shrimp with CO2 and pH sensors to map out the ocean's levels and find problem areas.
We did lots of research from a wide variety of sources and even interviewed a real coral scientist named Matt Gibson from the Stowers Institute.
What makes our solution unique, Sawyer?
Our solution is an autonomous vessel powered by solar panels. You will not use chemicals or artificial oxygen pumping. Our solution will not leave debris to wash up on beaches.
Using live shrimp to map out the pH levels is faster and cheaper than using heavy equipment.
Saving our ocean's creatures and biodiversity benefits everyone, but some examples are the seafood industry, the tourism industry, coastal communities and economies, and scientists making new discoveries.
This epic solution also has an epic cost. We are estimating the total to be around $6.5 million, but you can't put a price on saving the ocean.
Because of the global impact of this project, our funding could come from governments, grants for fighting climate change, groups that care about the environment, and big companies that are affected, like the seafood and tourism industries.
Our floating greenhouse could also sell carbon credits to companies that need to make up for their pollution. So, if a factory adds CO2 into the air, they can pay money to support projects that remove CO2, like our greenhouse.
Long term, floating greenhouses could save the world a lot of money. For example, the fishing industry is a $250 billion industry. Our $1,500 budget would go towards creating a proof of concept and paying for a grant writer.
Thank you for listening to our next great idea. We hope to make this idea a reality.
And save those sea butterflies.
Excellent work. Are you ready for some questions? Okay.
That was a great presentation. Thank you. And I love that this is back up. Actually, you had a very long list of, you did a lot of research, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about the research that you did and what you, maybe one surprising thing you learned?
Well, we learned that shrimp actually travel really far and can live for really long, so that would be good for tracking the levels of the ocean.
Something else we learned was we watched a video of how people grow seaweed, like how to grow seaweed in your home on B, and the article.
Thank you.
What was the most challenging thing about this project?
It was probably the how much it costs, because it costs $5 million for just the vessel that floats, and that's a lot of money. But we also have a proof of concept budget that we could make.
Great presentation. I really like your Lego model too. That was fun to see the shrimp come out. Who do you see being your best customer? Who are you selling to exactly?
Mostly everyone, but some examples are Climate Works Foundation, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, and the NOAA Climate Program Office.
All right. Excellent job. Another round of applause for Sawyer and Miles. And we'll give our judges time to do their work. Keep an eye on the screen so you can help us determine who the People's Choice Award winner will be today, and also enjoy some of the videos of students who applied to pitch but maybe are not pitching today. See you back at 10:45.
Hi, my name is Kendall Swayze, and I chose PHP for my great idea. I chose this idea because more than 1,600 students stay home from school for fear of being bullied. 2 in 7 kids get cyberbullied, which is equal to 13 million kids this year. I know me as a kid, it's more comfortable talking to another kid rather than an adult. A PHP working both academically and emotionally, peer helpers can help tutor or guide other peers in subjects where they might need assistance. Peer helpers can also provide guidance on managing emotions, solving personal problems, and helping them access personal services. Peer helpers are going to get professionally trained to understand challenging subjects or concepts. that can help improve studies of other peers. Peer helpers also might organize activities that can help others understand what is going on or help promote social interaction and well-being like workshop or awareness events. The peer helper program generally involves students supporting each other through mentorship or assistance in various areas such as academics, social emotional support, or personal development. Since this is the start of my program, I would do 2 kids per grade, 7 through 12, and 5 weeks of training.
Did you know that being active helps with many things, including sleeping better, improving your memory, and stress or anxiety? The average human is sitting down for 6.5 to 8 hours a day, which is a lot. And only 28% of people get 30 minutes of physical activity a day. Well, I have something that can fix that. And that something is a chair, but not just any chair. A chair that knows that you've been sitting down too long and reminds you to just get up and get your blood flowing. Most people would benefit from this product, feeling better emotionally and physically. Over the last 30 to 40 years, humans have become less physically active. And if that keeps up, then these stats will look even worse. So, even more the reason that this product would be helpful. The active chair will be nice and comfy, but when you're sitting down for too long, it reminds you to take a break. You can install custom ringtones and turn up the volume really loud. So basically, you can make it a really annoying reminder, or if you don't want that, you can make it a more peaceful one. You can get a normal office chair or a gaming chair version. So you will not be able to notice the speakers, so it will look nice and clean. The chair itself would probably be around $20 for both the office chair version and the gaming chair version. Also, probably around $20 for the speaker as well, so around $40 will be the total price for my products. The active chair is completely new to this world, and there is no other thing on the market quite like it. This product will be beneficial for any age. And gaming is becoming bigger and bigger and a lot more popular over time. And sometimes people just sit inside all day doing nothing. And the active chair will change that and hopefully get people up and active so they can be moved with that. This product may be super useful for all kinds of people. For example, if you are working in an office and you're just sitting down all day, then the active chair will remind you to get up and get active. And being active doesn't have to be hard. It can be just as simple as like stretching or something. So that is why the world needs this product. Thank you for listening.
I'm excited to introduce our next innovator. It's Emmeline Walensky. She's a 7th grader from Indian Hills Middle School with her next great idea, Test Buddy.
Hi, I'm Emmeline Walensky, and I'm going to introduce the Test Buddy, a device to help students who struggle with test anxiety. When I was in 6th grade, I took the Algebra Placement Test, a test to determine which math class I would enter in middle school. Passing this test meant a lot to me, so I worked hard to prepare for it. And when test day arrived, I was extremely nervous. By the time of the test, I felt like I was going to be sick. As you might imagine, this did not help me focus. And sure enough, when the results came back, I was crushed. I had not passed. After the initial disappointment, I began to think about what I'd do differently next time. So I started to research test anxiety, and I discovered that I wasn't alone. 25 to 40% of students in the U.S. experience test anxiety, which is about 10 to 16 million kids in the U.S. alone. I also found out that some common issues these kids struggle with because of their test anxiety include negatively impacted mental health, bad grades, and a negative outlook on school. That's why I created the Test Buddy. The Test Buddy is a small device about this size designed to keep students calm during tests. This is how the Test Buddy works. Imagine you're sitting in class taking a test and you start to panic. Your breathing gets fast, your mouth gets dry, and you start to feel overwhelmed. Then the test buddy jumps into action. It starts buzzing at the same speed your normal breathing would be so you can follow its lead. It reminds you to take a drink of water to help your dry throat. It updates you about how many minutes are left on the test so you don't have to be worried about that. And it gives you a positive affirmation. While some devices such as the Apple Watch or the Ola Hydration Reminder share certain features with the Test Buddy, it is the only device that includes all of these features and is the sole smart device made specifically for test anxiety. It is also ideal for test settings because it does not have a calculator and it is not connected to the internet, so you can't cheat with it or get distracted by it. As you can see, my timeline is split into 4 different phases, ranging from 4 to 12 months in length. I plan to start around May, and during this time, I'm going to start crowdfunding to raise interest and funds. I will also start a social media account and do classroom demonstrations to advertise for the Test Buddy. During this time, I also hope to find a mentor or a partner to work with. In the second phase, I'm going to start product development. In the third phase, I'm going to reach out to a professional to help me with the prototyping and manufacturing. And in the fourth and final phase, I plan to sell my first big batch on Amazon, and once sales start to pick up, I'll hopefully be able to sell on my own website so I can sell directly to consumers. As you can see, this is my budget with the pitch funds, and I estimate that each Test Buddy will cost about $15 to $25 to mass produce, and I plan to sell it for about $30 to $45. The Test Buddy has a wide range of applications, from assisting a high school student on their SATs to something as simple as helping a first grader with a spelling test. The Test Buddy helps all students perform their best because everyone deserves a chance to showcase what they're truly capable of. Thank you.
All right, Emmeline, you're unflappable. Are you ready for the questions from the judges?
Yeah.
All right.
Kudos to you for dealing with the technical difficulties and being able to pick up right where you left off. That's really strong presentation skills. It's been about a decade since I first took the ACT. I know back then there was no devices of any kind, like they were even suspicious about a calculator. Tell us about how you plan to navigate restrictions like that with your product.
Well, so I plan to work with the Shawnee Mission School District to do sort of a pilot program so that we can show that it isn't disruptive in class, and then hopefully other high school teachers and districts around the world or country can see that it isn't distracting and that you can't cheat with it or be distracted by it, so that it's okay to use during tests.
Would the $1,500 prize from today's competition be enough for you to do that pilot program, or would you need more money?
I think it would be enough to make the first Test Buddy, or maybe a couple, but I think that I would need a few extra funds just to, if I had a bunch to do the pilot program. But if we're just doing maybe 2 to 5 students, then I think I would probably have enough.
What kind of feedback did you get when you talked to classmates or whoever you fielded this idea to? What did they tell you?
Well, I talked to some classmates and they said that this would really help them because a lot of people struggle with being anxious during tests, and it can actually make a big impact on your grades and, as I said, your outlook on school. So they said that it would really help them to have something to be able to calm them down during these high pressure moments.
Did they have any other feedback, any challenges for your ideas for the device itself?
Not really, but after this competition, I hope to be able to work more constructively with students and really take their feedback and see what they would choose, change about it and stuff like that.
Thank you.
What did it take to create that prototype that you have there today?
So you mean this?
Yes.
This isn't a prototype, it's just a model to show the size of it. But yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, another round of applause for Emmeline. All right, Emily, you can stay right here with me. We are going to allow the judges to do their work, and we will come back. We've got one more pitch, and it is a group coming up at 11 o'clock. Thank you.
Today, less than 1/8 of the world's population knows how to care for themselves as young adults, doing things such as making food for themselves and cleaning up after themselves and others. Hi, my name is Sullivan Workman, and my idea is called Skillful Solutions. Skillful Solutions is going to help people who don't know or never learned how to do life skills learn how to do these on their own without help from peers or family members showing them what to do. The thing that inspired me to make this idea was seeing people at colleges when I visited them to see my family, having to ask several people on how to do things such as laundry or cooking, with some people that are asked these questions don't even know themselves. My idea is unique because Skillful Solutions can teach you in different ways that can adapt to your learning style to help you learn in the most efficient way possible. I hope my idea can improve someone's life by allowing them to easily care for themselves and learn how to live on their own. I would want this because learning skills such as these can help develop someone into a better person that can do better things for themselves and others. I aim to invest my grant money in developing the app further while assisting some with the development. I'm also going to publish my app on the Google Play Store, since the App Store is an annual fee, whereas the Play Store is a one-time fee. I'm hoping to be able to receive excess fundings through people using my app and companies asking to use my app to be able to make the app more inclusive to use by adding it to more platforms. I have sent a survey to my cousin who is in college, which is part of my ideal audience, and also I sent the same survey to my dad, who is a teacher at a college, and I've used the information from this survey to see how much I can change the app based on how much people need it. I use this to see what I can do specifically inside of my app to make people learn how they need to learn to make it so they understand. This was my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Hi, my name is Quinn, and I'm a baker. Have you ever had a dessert that was sunken, doughy, and an altogether mess? Well, maybe the baker forgot to use a flour sifter. Flour sifters have been in recipes a while, meant to aerate and sift clumps out of flour. Many bakers around the world use flour sifters, with varying degrees of success. Flour sifters can be ineffective, hard to use, and difficult to clean. These problems can be remedied, but another problem has also arisen. When flour is sifted, it increases in volume. This also increases in measurement, making it incorrect and possibly ruining the big good the flour is used for. My solution to these problems is EasySift. EasySift is my product and uses a detachable measuring cup to measure the sifted flour after sifting. It uses feedback from bakers to tweak and improve every version of the product. After I constructed a prototype, I tested and revised the design until it was the perfect model of my hard work. After more EasySifts are made, they will be distributed to bakers around the community. Manufacturing these flour sifters on a big scale will cost around $600, give or take, and will be sold for around $10 regularly. These may be sold online or possibly at a bakery or grocery store. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back. Up next, we have an innovative team of 8 fifth graders from Briarwood who call themselves the Robozos. They'll introduce themselves and share their idea titled Visible.
Bases are loaded at the bottom of the ninth. You line up at the plate and grip the metal bat in your hands. It's all riding on this moment. The crowd is hushed. Here comes the pitch. You swing, you hear the crack of the bat. It's a hit. It's going, gone. The crowd goes wild.
We're the Robozos, a fifth grade robotics team from Briarwood. In the 2023 robotics season, we were challenged to create something innovative to share our hobbies. We love baseball and the rush of getting a big hit, but not all kids get to experience that feeling. If you're visually impaired, baseball can be dangerous and even impossible. That's why we created Visible. We did research at CCVI to learn about visual impairments to help us brainstorm how to combine those skills with baseball. Next, we talked to an audio engineer at Garmin to decide the right sounds to play when the ball is hit. Lastly, we showed Visiball to our friend Luca, who is blind. He absolutely loved it. Seeing his big smile made it clear we had to make this a product.
Visiball can be played anywhere with just a portable tee. Here are some features we added to make it easier for somebody who is visually impaired. There is turf that crinkles so somebody who is blind knows exactly where to stand. There is also a rope connected to the ball so it's easier to retrieve it once you've hit it. There's also a Garmin golf launcher that shows exactly how far you've hit the ball. Visiball has a large market opportunity, with baseball being an international sport. Over 19 million children under the age of 15 have visually impairments around the world, 600,000 of those being in the United States.
Our main competition is Beat Baseball, which uses beeping bases and baseballs that guide you to the ball and base. Visiball's advantage is that you can play it by yourself or with others at any location due to its portability.
We plan to use the $1,500 for a higher quality prototype. We plan to use $500 for materials and $1,000 on app development. We'll use the Garmin Golf Launch Monitor to detect when the ball is hit and measure the distance it travels. We'll develop an app with Bluetooth that receives hit data from the monitors and trigger audio responses such as steer right, it's a hit, or it's going, gone.
With a working prototype, we could pitch our idea to companies like Garmin and companies that make games. We also have a connection to the Special Olympics and are going to participate in some events. We also are going to raise awareness to the market of our product. We think everyone should be able to play baseball, and we want to bring it to the plate for the visually impaired. Who's with me?
All right, great teamwork. Rebozos, are you ready for some questions?
Yes.
Okay. Judges.
What's it like to hit a home run if the rope is out of length? So, how long of a rope do you need in the finished product to address that?
Well, since it's under like 18-year-old baseball, we're thinking about at least 200 something feet, because that's the average of fields that youth baseball plays on.
Okay. And what is it like to retract and reset the tee you have there once it's been hit that far?
You can just pull on the rope and then set in a neat pile, and then you can just set the ball back on the tee, and then you can hit it again.
I wanted to give these two over here on the side. Did you guys have anything to add to that? Okay. I'm curious, did you talk to anyone besides Luca? What other feedback did you get?
We got feedback from someone who works at Garmin, and he talked about the audio that we would install later on, like the thing that tells us if it's a strike or a hit or stuff like that.
Are you planning to sell this to individuals or businesses as well?
We are thinking of going on GoFundMe and starting getting our prototype advanced, and we'll try to sell it to a bigger business.
Thank you.
Is there anything else on the market that provides those with visual impairments access to baseball?
There is a baseball league for visually impaired adults called Beat Baseball, and it's beeping baseball and bases that they don't play traditional baseball. They don't have gloves, and they have a provided pitcher. This is more of a batting practice game, so they can practice outside of the events.
Okay, good. I'm really glad you made the distinction between that beat baseball and that this is something different, so well done.
What is your why? Why did you choose to solve this particular problem?
We started off by just kind of making a list of a bunch of hobbies we had,
and most of our team said baseball, so we decided we would do something with baseball and decided to try and like help people with it too, so visually impaired baseball.
Have each of you had the opportunity to test this yourselves? Maybe
Yes.
can you
Yes.
tell me what that was like?
When we were playing, when we were testing it in Jaden's backyard, we found that it was very fun and intriguing when you hit the ball and pulled up the mask and saw the hit. But for the visually impaired, there's a calculation that like shows it to them, and through their ears, because they, as visually impaired, they can't see, and it's a more of a detailed calculation than just like an AI thing. It went 232 feet. It's more like a real person saying it.
Yeah. Anybody else want to share?
Since we're not visually impaired, we had blindfolds on while we were testing it, so.
Thank you.
All right, another round of applause for Team Rebozos. All right, as the Rebozos are exiting the stage, I would invite all of us to give another round of applause for the amazing 8 finalists that pitched today. Judges, you witnessed some incredible students and some really bold and big ideas. I'd love for you all to share some final comments with us today about the experience, any advice or guidance that you might give to these students and to some of the other students maybe that entered or may enter in the future. So we'll just kind of go down the line and have you share.
I would say usually with entrepreneurship, you want to start with the end user in mind. Start with the person you're trying to help or the problem you're trying to solve. Figure out what's really difficult about whatever jobs they have to do and try to make some small improvements on that. Get feedback along the way and continue to incorporate that feedback as you continue developing your product.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Having a coach to walk students through the entire process beginning to end and making sure that they hit all the points of, did I talk to my potential users and do I really see a path to getting this from concept to market is really important. But also just the presentations that we saw today were fantastic. This is such a great opportunity for students to try, and if they misstep, if they forget their line, if they have to check the card or whatever, there's just so much that comes from this opportunity to stand in front of a full room of people, in front of these giant, I mean, you guys can't see them, but the lights are bright, and it's kind of an intimidating environment, and so being able to stand there and just power through, that resilience is so important, and it's just so exciting to see these students doing this. Thank you.
I'm going to second everything they said there. Yeah, so starting with the problem, the solution, and how they're going to execute the idea. And I think also most importantly, the why behind it and their mission and why they're truly doing it. And just having the passion to what they're doing. Because if you have that drive behind it, that's what's going to keep you going. And I mean, every single presentation seen today, we were able to see it through every single one of the presenters. So well done.
Please help me thank our judges who gave their time today to share with our students. It's judges and, as you mentioned, mentors and coaches really that are critical in our work in Shawnee Mission and in all of education really to help give students that real world learning opportunity. So we'll use this platform to invite anybody out there who might be interested, might not be engaged with the school but is intrigued today. If you are interested in being a mentor, we would love to visit with you about that and would welcome your engagement in that process. All right, so everybody here, those of us joining us online, we need your help. So it's time to weigh in because we need to determine who this year's People's Choice Award winner will be. So on the screen, you'll be finding information on how you can access the People's Choice voting. You can vote for your favorite pitch, You can vote as many times as you like. The window is open for 1 hour from 11:30 roughly to 12:30, and the student with the most votes will be the People's Choice winner and will receive a $500 award. So please help us to determine that and engage in that. We will be back today at 2 p.m. for our Research and Development Forum Awards ceremony. At that time, we will recognize all of our award winners in our showcase categories of the R&D Forum, including our prestigious Rainier Awards. Those will be announced as well today, along with the Next Great Idea Pitch winners. Our highest winners, just a reminder, these innovators are going to walk away with the ability to have up to $2,500 to put toward their education and also to further their great idea. Judges, thank you again for your time. I want to say a special thank you to Mr. Rainier and to the Rainier family for their really unprecedented support of our students. We could not do this without you, so we appreciate you. We appreciate our district leadership for their support of this event. We've had a great week here, and we look forward to seeing you back here at 2 p.m. to celebrate our winners. Thank you.